what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to Scents of South Jersey with me, Kellen, for another fragrance review today. Today we're going to be taking a look at a classic, one that I have a love-hate relationship with, and it's one that is renowned by a lot of people. It's a 1978 aromatic fougere. It's from the House of Azzaro. It's none other than Azzaro Pour Homme. So what we'll do, as usual, in my fragrance review, we're going to break down this fragrance by first looking at its box and bottle presentation. Then I'm going to go over the fragrance's notes. Then I'm going to talk about the fragrance's performance on my skin. Then I'm going to give it my overall thoughts. And then, of course, my overall rating. So let's get to it. All right, let's first take a look at the box for Azzaro Pour Homme. You can see that black box, silver lettering, Azzaro Pour Homme at the top. The logo there, which looks like part of an A. And you got, eau de toilette. It is a 100 ml bottle. Nothing going on the top. Sides are also black. It's got like a really sleek, black, shiny case. And on the back, you got some brand information. And on the bottom, you have your serial code and your barcode as well, too. So pretty simple box. I do like it. It is sleek. I like the Azzaro there. I think that's pretty cool. We'll take a look at the bottle, too. So the bottle's got this kind of like yellowish amber gradient to it. You can see here the Azzaro A there. And then there he says Azzaro Pour Homme. It does not say eau de toilette, and it does say Azzaro on the bottom, and you see the etched in glass. It's probably really hard to see there. The cap clicks into place, but I wouldn't hold it by the cap. You can see black atomizer there. These are one of the refillable bottles too. We'll take a look at the fragrance distribution. It is my scent of the day today, so I'll spray some on myself. Not bad. So pretty good distribution. Bottle overall is pretty classic, very, very, very old school looking. I do actually really like it. All right, let's talk about the notes for Azzaro Pour Homme. Now, this is a classic fragrance, so there are a ton of notes in the fragrance. I pick up on a couple ones, but I'm going to read them off. So on the top, I had to write a couple of them down because it's very hard to memorize. So on the top, you have caraway, iris, lavender, clary sage, basil, anise, bergamot, and then lemon. And then in the middle of the fragrance, you got sandalwood, juniper, patchouli, vetiver, cedar, and cardamom. Now in the base, you have leather, tonka bean, amber, musk, and oak moss. So what I get, instantaneous burst of that anise right off the bat. There's a little bit of citrus in there. So if you can think of a scent like Tuscany by Aramis, where that has citrus plus anise, this is just really heavy on the citrus. So the citrus and spice, but mainly that anise note is what is going to be the first burst of spray. And then I get a little patchouli, I get a little bit of musk, definitely some oak moss as well too. So those are the predominant notes, and that kind of is par for the course with the fragrance from the late 70s, early 80s, which again, this is 1978 too. So that leather is another note that I pick up on, but the ones that I mentioned are definitely going to be the most dominant in this fragrance. All right, so let's talk about the performance for Azzaro Pour Homme. Fragrances of this era usually have good performance, but every now and then you do get one that the performance is kind of subpar. And this one's a little spotty for me personally, so I think I become nose blind to it. I'm applying a lot of sprays. I am utilizing other products to actually boost the performance of this fragrance. So they have an aftershave. And it's funny because this is the aftershave, you can see that there. It comes in a spray, which is pretty cool, but you can't really tell the difference between the eau de toilette and the aftershave, obviously, except, when you open the bottle, but it is etched in the glass there. So things like a deodorant spray help push the performance. This kind of immediately goes into the soapy smell of Azzaro. They do have a deodorant stick too, and I'm using all of these today, shaved, and use the aftershave and aftershave balm. The deodorant is an alcohol one though, so if you don't like that, just make sure to keep that in mind. So the shower gel and aftershave balm are really good. This is the balm, this is the gel. These really smell like light on spice, more on that soapiness. So the real spicy scent that you're gonna get is from the eau de toilette. But performance-wise, that's all going to culminate to really give you the maximum that I'm getting is about 5 hours. So it's going to project really well for the first 30 minutes, and then after that, maybe another hour and a half. But then it becomes a skin scent. So you can apply this heavy, thankfully, and it's pretty inexpensive, but it's not the best performer. Now, again, if I'm experiencing olfactory fatigue and I'm not, even noticing it's on me, but other people are, that is a huge possibility. I haven't really worn it that long to tell. But the performance I'm getting is about mediocre at best, I would say. All right, let's talk about my overall thoughts for Azzaro Pour Homme. So as many of you know that I've conversed with in the comments or maybe on the Instagram pages, I have kind of a history with this fragrance. So a while back, I bought this. I'm talking about 3 years ago. I bought a small bottle just like this. As you can see the difference in size, this exact bottle. Not this exact one, but this exact size, I should say. And I ended up returning it because I didn't like it. The opening in this scent was so harsh that it really turned me off, and I hadn't experienced a fragrance like that yet. I was just sort of getting into certain classics, just sort of starting the fragrance journey. And this is a hard fragrance to immediately like. And this isn't one that my dad had. He did not have this one. And I know that a lot of people that love this maybe grew up around it and they kind of acquired an appreciation for that scent over time. That didn't happen with me. So I put this back. I actually returned it. I bought it at Marshall's, returned it, didn't touch it for years. Recently, somebody recommended Cuba Black, which is a clone of this scent. And some people say Rive Gauche, some people say Azzaro Pour Homme, but I will weigh in on Azzaro Pour Homme all day that's what it's a clone of. And I really enjoyed Cuba Black a lot. I did a review on it. I'm sure many of you have seen it. That had that same spicy opening, that same anise, but it wasn't as harsh as Azzaro. So I thought, well, maybe I could revisit this, you know. Recently, I was at a TJ Maxx. I hadn't been to a rack store in eons. I walk in and I'm, going around. I picked up some razors, some, face wash, and there it was sitting here for 14 bucks. And I said, let me try it again. So pay for it, leave, walk out in the car. I try it again and I'm like, wow, this is a different opinion I'm having, but it smelled exactly like I remembered it, but I appreciated it more. Having experience with Cuba Black or Tuscany by Aramis, that has the same anise heavy scent. Some people say it reminds them of Rive Gauche. I disagree. They both have anise. Like Rive Gauche is a very smooth approach to it, and Azzaro Pour Homme is a really rugged, like being dragged over rocks versus like gliding. You know what I mean? And that's how the difference in the opening is for Rive Gauche versus Azzaro Pour Homme. Azzaro Pour Homme is still made. Rive Gauche is discontinued. Again, why, I have no idea. But I do really enjoy this one now, and it's grown on me. The performance isn't that great, but I really like the soapiness, but it took me a while to get used to this one. So if any of you guys, say, you know what, I don't like Azzaro Pour Homme, I wouldn't blame you, because it took years for me to appreciate it, and now I do. So I'm eating my words. I'm sure you've heard me say that I wasn't a huge fan in many videos, even as recent to the Cuba Black, because I just thought that one memory I have of that opening initial spray of this, I didn't like it, and I'll put some more on. Yeah, and it's a little synthetic because I definitely get some alcohol mixed in right away, but that sharp anise, but that dry down when it's soapy. Very masculine, very barbershop, and this is one now that I'm happy to have, along with they do create a lot of other products that you can utilize too. So times of the year to wear this is definitely, I think, a perfect fall fragrance, and we're just about stepping into that time of the year where it's cooler. This will be a perfect scent. I think maybe it might even perform a little better in the cooler weather, and you can apply it heavy because it's so inexpensive. I think 30s and up would really appreciate this one more. It's definitely a masculine scent, and it's definitely a classic scent. And I never really liked the House of Azzaro either. Like when you look at like some of the fragrances that they've come out with, like Chrome, garbage, absolutely garbage. Late 2019, early 2020, they came out with all those Azzaro Pour Homme flakers, like Very Berry, Wild Mint, and Ginger Cringer or whatever. Like, are you making men's fragrances, or are you making Trix Mix cereal? Like, what is wrong with you? Those things look so bad. And I know I wouldn't like them, and I'm never going to try them. And I didn't even like this one until recently. So now that I'm happy I have this one, this is the one savior for the house. Otherwise, everything else they make is crap. Wanted is terrible. Wanted Tonic is garbage. But yeah, Very Berry, Wild Mint. It's just like, I feel like you're in the cereal aisle at the grocery store. So, but anyway, this one is really good, and I'm glad that I now experienced it and appreciate it too. But like if it gets compared to Paco Rabanne Pour Homme, I would say that Paco Rabanne Pour Homme is infinitely better. Like that has a harsh opening, but when I first tested that in a store, it was an instant love for me, where this one has taken a long time. But again, I think seasons fall, winter, ages 30 and up. This could be casual, could be a great signature scent. You could make it formal because it is masculine enough to give you a nice presence about you too. So I am happy to have Azzaro Pour Homme. All right, guys, let's do the overall rating for Azzaro Pour Homme. First, the presentation. I really like this bottle. It's very, very classic. It's masculine looking. I like the color. I like the dark kind of gold amber, and I like the black. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Performance-wise, unfortunately, I'm just not getting great performance. It's not an expensive fragrance, so I didn't really expect much. So I'm only getting about 4 to 5 hours, so I'm going to give that a 4.5 out of 10. And for the scent, I understand if people don't like it, but now I like it because my tastes have changed and I appreciate it a little bit more, but I could still get the harshness from it, so I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. So overall, for Azzaro Pour Homme, it's gonna be a 6.5 out of 10 for me. Guys, I wanna hear from you. What do you think of Azzaro Pour Homme? Is this a love for you? Do you have the same experience I did where it took you a while to warm up to it? Do you really enjoy it? Do you hate it? I wanna hear from you guys in the comments. Again, thank you all so much for watching and hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.